trying to make a video, darling. Yes. I know you like to help. Oh, save me. And you like the cushion, don't you? Yeah? Oh. Oh. You know my honey. Oh, I love you too. Hello everybody, and today I've got something else to show you. I've also got a cold. I can barely bloody speak, so I hope you can understand me. Whew, must be winter. Another lovely thing from China. Now, I can get these in my country, but they're 60 quid, which is a lot of freaking money for a light bulb. So when I saw that they were doing a Chinese knockoff for 14 quid, I thought I'll give it a go, because I've been wanting one since I saw one of these on Big Clive's channel. And what they are is an extremely complicated version, much more complicated version of what you used to get in the simple little light bulbs that you would have, say, in a Christmas candle display, where you used to get those little bulbs about that big with a little candle flame inside. They're neon and they flicker, and they're actually just sort of a very simple process of it's electricity flickering around in a gas neon, basically a sort of faulty neon, purposely so. Well, you can't really get those anymore. I don't know why. So somebody came up with this idea of doing a much more complicated version using LEDs. I believe it's split into three. Excuse my sniffing. There's a wrap of LEDs in here, like a flat roll. Split into three, as I say, and each section does a simulation of a flame in LED form, flickers up and down, and it's very good, actually. It is, you know, when you look at it, it looks lovely. And it's got three different modes. There's this particular one, because I've already tested it, and one of them does stripes that go up and down, which looks very sort of sci-fi. The other one obviously does the flickering thing, and the last one obviously will do just stationary. You change them by turning them on and off, which is becoming a common way of getting around having to do a remote or a switch on them. And, well, it does everything it's supposed to do. I'm so glad I didn't pay full whack for it, because I don't like it. It's I was really disappointed, because I had this idea in my head I was going to get these, and IKEA currently are selling off these lovely 70s looking round globes of white glass, which have the right E27 connection. And I thought, put the two together, you've got something you can stick, you know, I can give them for Christmas, and people can stick them in the hearth, and they can flicker away and look like you've got a fire, sort of a standalone way of that sort of thing, where you put a flickering fire on a loop on, you know, YouTube videos have these things, and you can stick it on your TV and pretend you've got a roaring log fire. Well, I thought, you know, something similar to that, but unfortunately it suffers from the same problem that all LED effect bulbs have, particularly ones made to flicker, such as candle bulbs, is they flicker too goddamn much. It's like, oh, we can do this, so let's do it lots, and it's too much. It bothers me. They never seem to be able to get it right. Instead of having a pleasant flicker, it's like somebody's blowing a bloody fan at it. It really goes for it. Now, that's very clever, and it looks kind of cool, but the actual light it produces isn't pleasant. It's not a nice, pleasant sort of, ooh, isn't it nice and relaxing? Let's get cuddly kind of, which is what you want for something you've got to have in your house. It's the sort of thing where you put it on for an effect on a theatre stage, perhaps, or, as I say, put it in a lamp outside for Halloween to entertain the children with, because it's got that kind of a, you know, torch and pitchforks manic flicker thing going on, and I'll demonstrate it in a moment so you can see for yourself. And it's annoying because I really like the concept and I really thought it would be a lovely gift, but it's just too much. The light produced in the room is unpleasant. You'd maybe have to get maybe 2 or 3 and hope they get out of sync, and then you might get something that akin to a fire, but even then I'm not sure, because the flashing of the LEDs is so digital that the light it produces is just, well, a friend of mine described it as migraine inducing, which, yeah, it's not the best recommendation, is it? So yeah, they never seem to get it right. It's like these little candles you get, the tiny little flickery ones. I should have got one of those out to show you because I've got plenty of them. And they've got the same problem. They never look like a nice, pleasant, flickering, wobbling candle. They always look like somebody's left a candle out in the rain and it's spluttering to keep alive. They just always have this issue that they think that the thing to do is to go right from 0 to full on and off a few times, and that'll look like it doesn't look like a candle. It looks like what it is. It looks like an LED turning on and off. There's currently this issue at the moment. So since we switched from incandescent bulbs, we can't seem to get pleasant flickering. It's something I'm going to go into in another video because it's something that just really bothers me. You can't get anything that flashes without it being a staccato digital, just unpleasant flash that just makes you wish it would just bloody stop. Whereas you used to be able to get all these lovely like music reactive and natural flickering bulbs that give a nice atmosphere. You just don't seem to be able to get them anymore. If you get anything that flickers or tries to do anything to music, it's always bah, 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 and it's just like some sort of, I don't know, look at me window display manic flashing to try and get your attention rather than something you could relax at home with. Just not right. Anyway, I'll stick this in so you can see for yourself. Okay, here's the bulb in action in my traditional dusty uplighter. I know I could clean that, but sod it. Everybody's uplighters are dusty. Right, it produces this rather interesting light. Looks a bit honeycomb. I think I'm right about the split into 3 from the looks of it. It's split into 4, it wouldn't quite work as well, would it? Anyway, if you turn it off and on, you get this rather odd striping to the top and striping to the bottom thing. I'm not really sure what the purposes of that's meant to be. Well, it's a certainly interesting effect, I suppose. Let's see the effect it has on the uplighter. Just basically pulsing. I'm not sure if it's coming across on the camera, but there's quite an unpleasant judder between all of those as well. It's not as smooth at all. And the person on, off, and on. And there's our flickering bulb. Now, you see, it's not bad, is it? It's interesting. It's pleasant. I like it. But the light it produces, as I say, look at it. It's a lot more, oh my god, somewhere get the fire brigade than it is, what a lovely, pleasant, relaxing log fire effect, isn't it? It's going too high and too low, too much. It's a shame. I mean, as I say, great for certain effects. If you want to get a sort of torch and pitchfork, let's burn the monster down effect, Castle Dracula or something, then here's your man right here. But I would say for, I don't know, happy times at Christmas, no, I wouldn't say so. It's also just too damn flickery. I really can't get across on here what that's like, but the overall effect of the light is just unpleasantly flashing, as each individual LED is doing its own binary digital on and off, as LEDs do. It's just producing a rather curiously unpleasant flashing, which is a shame. I really wanted it to be nice, but see, I don't know. Maybe some people might get on with it. It's certainly a very cool thing. I just don't really think it's for me, I'm afraid. Lovely though it is. It's all very clever. But yes, I'm certainly very glad I didn't pay £60 for the privilege of finding out that I'm not terribly keen on it. But there you go. Well, I'm not. Just a little supplemental. I'm just trying to catch the flicker of it, so you can appreciate what I'm talking about, the unpleasant flickeriness of it. It's actually very hard to get on camera. I think that catches it reasonably well. There are times it seems to turn off completely, other times when it's full whack. Yeah, just a bit too much.